maybe not.
Hi everybody, it's day 4. I had to think about that for a second. Welcome to 1/4 Inch Seam. I'm Angela with my sewing room. It is a complete disaster right now because I've been trying to do all these projects and get stuff ready and get stuff cut and find fabrics and work and keep my house and you know, keep my house tidy. Not keep my house like I'm losing my house, but keep my house tidy. That tonight, later tonight, I think I'm gonna steal an hour from whatever cleaning or whatever, Downton Abbey, reading my book, spending time with Minnie and Steve. Anyway, I'm gonna steal an hour and I gotta get in here and get a little bit of organization because I have glasses all over the place. There's fabric all over the place. There's terry. Yes, my daughter-in-law spent most of dinner picking blue terry cloth out of my hair. Oh, thanks. But the towel was a hit. So, and then I need some ideas because, you know, I had to buy 2 yards of that blue terry cloth. So what am I supposed to do with the rest of it? Somebody said something about maybe like a little cover-up, you know, like a bathing suit cover-up. Yes, please. I didn't quite get bikini ready this year. I haven't been bikini ready in about 15 years, if we're being completely honest with each other, which I didn't know that we were, but yeah. So, cover-up is a good idea, huh? Okay, I have a very special surprise for the end of this video, okay? So hang on, because this video, we're gonna chit-chat a little bit today. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn you a little bit and we're going to sew and finish the butterflies, which I know isn't very exciting, but that's what I gotta do today. But the big announcement is at the end of the video for what's coming this weekend, okay? Let's just get on into it. So, I guess I'm pretty pleased with myself on this red quilt. Oh, my springy scissors haven't come yet, so I'm probably going to be forced to just snip this with my regular scissors and aggravate my hands. Whatever. Or buy a pair of at the store. I think Hobby Lobby has them. I know Hobby Lobby had them. They were just a little bit more than other places I could get them for, and I don't do like a lot of rag quilts, so well, whatever. I smell chlorine. I smell bleach. So what are you doing this weekend? We have some stuff to go do this evening. A couple more errands to run. And then I think we're gonna go to have, I don't know, fried grouper for dinner somewhere. I don't know. Oh, dinner the other night. So dinner the other night with the kids was very nice. We don't get to see them, even though they live super close to us, we don't get to see them as often as, you know, we'd like, just because, oh God, who's not as busy as you've ever been lately? I don't know. I just feel like there's even enough time. Wait a minute. I want to make sure that when I open everything, that all the butterflies, I worked really hard to make sure these butterflies, yeah, we're going in the right direction. And so I really would like to make sure that, you know, when it's all said and done, that they are, oh, be careful. Okay, so I think on this, on a jelly roll, you know, you want to sew, when you're getting up to these seams, you want to sew them open. So as a little reminder, that chlorine smell is going to make me sneeze. I think he's putting tabs, chlorine tabs in. Okay, whatever. I think, just as a reminder, I'm going to clip them open so I don't forget. Yeah, my allergies are much, my sinuses are much better. Thank you. A couple people have asked about that in the comments. Please leave lots of comments. Please tell me what you're working on. What are you working on? You're not sewing a butterfly rag quilt. I'd probably cut my head off now. But what are you sewing? And are you enjoying it? That's the thing. You know, sometimes I think we start projects and especially if you get bored with them, which was, again, going back to what I was talking about the other day, like part of my motivation for a bunch of smaller projects, because, you know, that gives you, sometimes that gives you the stamina for the bigger ones. Okay, so I'm going to clip these open. Like so. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Remember, about a half inch. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, I know what I did. I was trying to remember what did I do around the edges. I think you just sew a seam. Pardon me. Do a seam all the way around, yeah, because you got to close it up. And then you snip the sides. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't panic. We know what we're doing. Well, not really. Okay. Oops. I got the little edge there caught. Okay. So we had a very nice dinner on Wednesday night, and it was really nice. And then just a normal Thursday. And I mean, then a normal Friday. Now we'll get this done, go get a couple other things done, and then Saturday. Oh, I know what I want to do. I didn't hear a lot of people. I have to go back to the comments because you guys are awesome with the comments, so I get a lot of comments. But I didn't remember seeing a whole lot with these panel things, and I now remember why I bought them, and also I'll tell you that story. And now I think I know what I want to do with them. So, okay, let me just get these. I think it's going to be cute. And now let me next one. Okay. So I remember so if I sew it like this, when I flip it down, yeah, it'll be right. Okay. Yeah? If I sew it like that, yeah. I will say something. Like you feel like it's so counterintuitive to keep sewing all the seams to the outside and sewing seams like open and together. It's just weird sometimes when you're used to doing something else and you're working with this heavier fabric. But I just think these are so cozy and soft and fun. And they're fast. I mean, obviously this wouldn't normally, if I just came in here for like 3 or 4 hours and just sat down and did it, it wouldn't take as much time as I've turned it into. But, who cares? It's not the end of the world. You just don't seem to want to line up all the way, do you? Do you? Well, yourself. Okay. All right, so the panels. Those panels are of the Aurora Borealis, up in Alaska, Antarctica, way up, and our granddaughter, one of our granddaughters, name is Aurora, and she was named after the Aurora Borealis. And sorry, I don't know why I was talking so low there. So she was named after the Aurora Borealis. Aurora, that's where they got the Aurora part from. Anyway, at one point, may still be, she was very into stars and galaxy type stuff, and that was what she had her whole, her bedroom was decorated in, and it was very cool. And I think I found those at some point to do as something for her, maybe a quilt for her. But I had a really good idea. I had a really good idea for something that wouldn't, and obviously I never got around to doing it. Thus, the panels still hanging there. But I was thinking, what if tomorrow we made pillowcases? Would you guys like to do that? Should we make pillowcases tomorrow? Wouldn't that be fun? I've never made a pillowcase before. I've watched a bunch of tutorials about making pillowcases, but I've never actually made a pillowcase. And then, if we like them, then I'll have something fun for her. And also, I will, I can pull out some fabric and make some for us, because I'm definitely not opposed to that. What's happening here? Because we have some pillows that we really like, that we sleep on, that are great for your neck and all that kind of stuff, that they're not queen size and they're not king size pillows. They're like in between, so no pillowcase really correctly fills it. Like a standard pillowcase is just a little bit too small, so the pillow's always kind of sliding out. And if you do the ones with the pocket, excuse me, if you do the one with the pocket, it's kind of too tight in there. It's too jammed in there. And if you do the king size one, you have all this excess like flappy pillowcase. So I was thinking I would just make them myself and then they would be the right size. Yahoo! I think this is going to be a good size. I was a little afraid, but you know, it's a lap blanket. Hey Angela, why didn't you just follow a pattern and see what other people were doing? I don't know. I don't know where I didn't do that. No idea. I have no idea. Okay, next one. Next. There's the bottom. So, pillowcases. Tomorrow we do pillowcases, I think. And I'm hoping that once I cut those, I won't regret it and that they'll work right. So I'm going to do pillowcases, obviously, that are that way. So that the panel runs that way. And then I got to find a fabric, obviously, for the back. And it would have been so much faster, Angela, if you'd have just... Does your brain ever just like completely stop when you're doing a project like this? Like I'm trying to make sure all the butterflies are flying up and not flying down. Okay, there. Okay, so tomorrow is pillowcase day. So find a fabric or a bed sheet. Oh. Maybe that's what I'll use for mine. Because I have a lot of bed sheets. Not a lot. I have a bunch of bed sheets. Some that we end up using. And listen, keep the comment, please, please, please. When it gets really cold, we have those frost blankets, you know, that you get at the Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. This video not sponsored by Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm just kidding. I doubt it. Lowe's or Home Depot would have any interest in our channel. Anyway, but you know, that stuff gets expensive. And we've had a lot of, you know, trees and little palms and things that we've planted, the landscaping work we've done, and I didn't want it to freeze. And so for a lot of the cold weather that we get down here, I feel like maybe my tension is too tight, or maybe my stitch is too tight. Anyway, so I have used old sheets and fitted sheets. Oh, you've heard me talk about this. It looks like my laundry room exploded whenever we get near a freeze. So I use a lot of that, you know, to cover some of our trees and some of our stuff, especially the stuff that we've had that's a little bit more mature, but that I still want to cover. That's what I use. I'm not ashamed to say it. Not ashamed to say it. Because otherwise, to cover everything with the actual landscape cover, sell the house to pay for the landscaping covering. Okay, anyway, back to the point. So, I don't know if other people are like this, but in my quest to find comfortable sheets that weren't terribly expensive, I wasn't afraid to spend a little bit of money, but some sheet sets, beautiful as they are pretty pricey. Anyway, I've ended up with some that we just did not like, or that they slide all over the bed, they don't stay down, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so, but they are like great fabrics, like beautiful cotton. They just don't work for sheets. Oh, I think I will use that to make some pillowcases for our bed. Ah, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. I just thought of that. That's what we're doing. So for tomorrow, get some fabric Get some old sheets, get some fabric that you like, whatever. Get it washed and clean. And we're gonna make sheets. We're gonna make, look. Oh my God, something else just fell behind the table. Ah. I'm gonna snip and wash this, I think, tonight. I'm gonna try. So that tomorrow you can see it. That's what I'm gonna try and do. Okay, let's get another thing here. One, 2, 3. Oh, there's 3 left. 4. Ha. So tell me what you're working on. Tell me in the comments. Oh, you can go to the Facebook page too. Kind of, you know. The clips were great when I started this, but now I'm just kind of doing it now. And don't forget, you know, we have a Facebook page too. And you can go there and put pictures up of what you're working on. And don't forget, please like, subscribe. I think if you're, I think most people that are here are subscribers. But if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Because tomorrow's, oh geez, Angela. I test snipped. Remember I was showing you some of the snips? Yeah. Now I gotta try and sew through the snip, just sew through that. That wasn't super smart. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to tell you what I did on, well, I'm going to remind you what I did if you weren't here when I started this thing. So, you know, typically, it's not a rule, but it's a typically. I hope I have enough thread on here for this. Oh yeah. Typically, when you do a rag quilt, you have 3 layers, right? Top layer, something in the center, batting or more flannel, and then back layer. Well, I didn't really want to use that much batting. I didn't want to really, I really wasn't concerned about it being overly warm. So I felt like using batting, you know, that can get, you know, that you didn't have to replace when you need it for another quilt. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter inside of this quilt or inside of another quilt, but I wasn't as concerned about it being that warm. So what I've never done before, which is, and usually when I've done rag quilts in the past, I just use 3 layers of flannel. So when I did this one, I kind of hemmed and hawed, and somebody said, why don't you just do 2 layers? In fact, I think it was Becky Morton. If it was Becky, thanks, Becky. If it wasn't Becky, thank you to whoever suggested it. So I'm just doing 2. I just did 2 layers. I just did 2 layers of, oh, I know why that was happening. I just did 2 layers of flannel, the butterflies and the purple. And I had one square that I had actually completed with the 3 layers. And so it's also mixed in here somewhere. I think I just sewed over it actually. So it'd be interesting to see. I've never done it with 2 layers before. But again, we live in Florida, and now we're like, summer's here. She's on it. And remember, this is just to kind of be cozy on the couch, you know. It's not meant to save a life. It doesn't need to be, we don't live in, you know, Ohio or in Nebraska where, you know, it gets below 0. If we get down to, when we get down into the 50s, we're dying here. We think we've landed on Antarctica. Anyway, so this one's just 2 layers, and I'm just curious, once I wash it, how I'm gonna like it with just 2 layers. I think it will be, I'm probably gonna wash it twice because I really want it to be soft. And for those of you that haven't made a rag quilt before, I'm gonna tell you what the last step is, because then we're just about to be done. We're gonna snip all these things. We're gonna come through with our scissors. And while you're snipping them, you know, you wanna tidy up. You're gonna have all these loose threads and things. So I'm just gonna go up here where I've already sewn, and we are done sewing here. So you just start, and I'm not gonna start near the end because I haven't sewn around the end yet. So about every ½ inch or so, you can do it at your, you know, I saw somebody do really big rag. You know, they were like, I don't know, an inch or 2 space. And it's not gonna make it as ruffly. And then, so you're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put it in the washing machine. See, my hand's already bothering me. You gotta be careful when you get, ouch, I got a cramp in my hand. Okay, we're not gonna do that right now. So you make all those snips, and then you throw it in the washing machine, and like more than once. And it's gonna make a bit of a mess in your washing machine, but you know, you can clean it afterwards. Clean out all your little lint collectors and all that kind of good stuff. And then you wash it on you dry it on high heat, and the more you wash and dry it, the more fluffied up all the little edges get, and it makes like a ruffle, right? It's very, very cute. I think I like it. And as you can see, like it really does sew up really fast. If you just sit down and sew and you're not yapping or constantly, you know, up and down. I mean, even if you are, it's the kind of thing you could do in a weekend, or, you know, you could do it. You could certainly do it in a day. You could certainly do it in a few hours if you know, put your mind to it and sat down and did it. Okay. What else? Oh, so I think Saturday or Sunday. Are you doing anything special? I mean, the weather, I don't know. Hopefully none of you are near all these tornadoes that are going around right now. If you are, our prayers are with you, because I thought the hurricanes were going to be scary, but you know, you have time with a hurricane. You know, they don't pop up. You know, you at least have time, for the most part, to come up with some sort of a plan. What you do with that plan, or if you execute that plan, or if you know, leave or don't leave, whatever, that's on you, but you at least have some time to think it out. And areas have time to get ready. With a tornado, geez, I've watched some of the, okay, for those of you that are super new, so I was just sewing and my seam started to fold over. Just lift your presser foot and it will allow you to flatten out the fabric. That is one of the few tutorial tips you're going to get from this channel. Because the rest of it, I'm just winging it. So anyway, for this weekend, I hope you're having glorious weather. It's pretty glorious. It's pretty warm. It's getting warm. I mean, it's getting between 85 and 90. Most of the time now, which is great. I mean, it's nice. It does take, it's kind of funny. Obviously when you're a kid and you're just dying for summer, I mean, I'm dying for summer all the time. I hate being cold, I hate the winter. But when you're a little kid, you don't necessarily have to kind of reacclimate yourself back to summer, you know? Like as an adult, you kind of do. Steve went out with a friend of his yesterday afternoon. And it was hot. And he was like, ah. I mean, they were starting to get tired. And he was like, I gotta get myself like back ready for summer, like ready for the heat. Like it does take some getting used to. And it's pretty, you know, it stays for the day. It stays, you know, even last night it was like mid-70s, late at night. So, I think this is coming out pretty darn cute. We're almost done. You can stick around, We're almost done. But while I'm sewing the last two, let me tell you what we're gonna do. Wrong side. Sew it. Yeah. Let me tell you what we're gonna do on Sunday. Sunday is gonna be cool. Okay. I'm trying to get these little. Okay. What's on here? Okay. Inch. Okay. On Sunday, we're gonna go live, right? And we're gonna do Can you guess it? Can you guess what we're gonna do on Sunday live together? It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a jelly roll race together Sunday afternoon. And that will be I will announce the time tomorrow. I want to say like 3 or 4 o'clock, but I might do it earlier in the day. I might do it in the morning. So like 11 o'clock. Like 11:30. So if you have a comment, if you have a preference, if you think like earlier in the day or later in the day, you can throw that in the comments. But Sunday we are doing a jelly roll race. See, I stopped to talk and I'm not stopped sewing. Jelly roll race. So what's a jelly roll race? So a jelly roll race is you're gonna sew a blanket, you're gonna sew a quilt with just a jelly roll. Jelly roll. Okay, whatever. So you just sew, and it's literally, it can be done in like 45 minutes, an hour, right? So we're gonna jam and sew a jelly roll on Sunday, and it's gonna be fun. So here's what you have to do. If you have jelly rolls, if you've got a fabric stash and you've got a favorite jelly roll that you don't know, or maybe you're like me, and in addition to being the kind of person that notoriously only buys 1 yard of fabric at a time, I also only ever buy 1 jelly roll at a time. So if I ever have a project that calls for more than 1 jelly roll, nope. So, I don't have a lot of jelly rolls because I just don't. So I'm gonna find a jelly roll that I really, really like, and we're gonna do a jelly roll race. And that's the name of the quilt, jelly roll race. It's so, if you're super new, if you've never done one, it's so easy. I was so intimidated the first time I did it. But once you start sewing it, you're like, okay, this is not hard. This is not rocket science, okay? So, Sunday, probably mid-morning. That's gonna be my guess. Probably mid-morning, because then y'all still have the afternoon to go and do other stuff, or you can finish quilting your jelly roll quilt, because we won't actually quilt it, although you don't necessarily have to quilt it afterwards. Just keep it like that, but that's what we're gonna do. We are going to do a jelly roll race together on Sunday, probably like 11 or 11:30. I will announce the time tomorrow, Saturday, and so that y'all can get prepared. Now, what do you do if you don't have a jelly roll and you can't go get one, or you don't have a fabric store near you? Sorry. God, my throat is so scratchy lately. What do you do if you don't have a fabric store near you, or you can't go get a jelly roll for whatever reason? Here's what you're gonna do. Take other fabric. Now, here's the question. Let's ask our girlfriend. Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
How many yards are in a fabric jelly roll? Hey Siri.
Mm-hmm.
How many yards of fabric are in a jelly roll fabric?
Here's an answer from HaleyStitches.com and ClassicSewingMagazine.com.
Which is the equivalent. Ah! Where'd it go? Hey Siri, how much fabric is in a fabric jelly roll?
Here's an answer from Storables.com.
How many yards of fabric are in a jelly roll?
Here's an answer from HaleyStitches.com and ClassicSewingMagazine.com.
Okay, it says a jelly roll is typically 40 strips. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Which is the equivalent of 3.77 yards. Another source states that there are 2.75 yards of fabric in a single jelly roll. So, let's split the difference and say 3 yards. Okay, you're gonna need 3 yards of fabric. Now, you just get 3 yards of whatever fabric, right? It can be scrappy. If you keep a scrap bin, you know, of all your unused or scrappy fabric, then I would empty that sucker out. Oh my goodness, come on. I would empty that sucker out and just cut. You want all the things to be 2.5 inches by like 42 inches or 40 inches, right? Because then that will be the same. What am I doing? Something's... Oh. I got this thing so turned around. Okay, there. So now, I'm just going to do one more, the last one here. Okay, like this, actually. Okay, like so, like so. Last one. She's going on, here she goes, and we're done. I would take this in the car with me, you know, while we're running around and snip it. But I think Steve would literally have a stroke because it would make such a mess. You just have fuzzies and stuff all over the place. So, alas, I'll just take my book. Somebody else asked, how is Covenant of Water going? It's going very well. I'm maybe 100 pages from being done, and it's a fantastic book. Fantastic. It's one of those things sometimes I think that when you have a longer book like that. Hang on a second. no idea what that is. That literally sounds like a helicopter. It's above our house. Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh. I do know what it was. It was Steve on the tractor. God. Okay, what's happening here? If you have a baby lock sewing machine, have you ever had this happen? This happens to me once in a blue moon. It's not anything concerning, but like it'll just, the little start stop will turn red. Okay. My little card battery ran out. So I don't remember exactly where I was. I don't remember if I was telling you that that sound was not a helicopter. I think it was Steve on the tractor. Or if I was asking you about why my baby lock once in a blue moon just kind of freezes. I don't know, it's just weird. But like I said, it's only happened like 2 or 3 times. And I turned the machine off, turned it back on, and it was totally fine. I don't know. I don't know if I even really am that worried about it. Okay, we're gonna back up just a little bit because somehow I got there we go. Got my seam off a little bit. I think because I didn't realize my foot was still on the pedal. Okay, so get your jelly roll, get your fabric strips, get an old bed sheet, get whatever you want, because we're making a jelly roll race. We're doing a jelly roll race quilt on Sunday. It's gonna be a Sunday sew-along. How fantastic is that going to be? So yes, that's what we're doing on Sunday. And I'll announce the time tomorrow. So Saturday, on Saturday's video. And I'll post it on like Instagram and Facebook, what time we're going to do the jelly roll race. Because it'll be different. Usually these are in the afternoon. But for Sunday, I think we'll do it a little bit earlier in the day. And we're almost done. Oh, this is exciting, guys. This is exciting because I've never finished this much stuff. Oh my gosh. I did it again. I haven't done it this whole blanket, but you know, on my machine, on my throat, on the little bobbin plate, there is, I have markings. I have like they're already printed. They were just pre-printed on the plates. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch. Well, I've been sewing a 1/2 inch seam on this thing, and all of a sudden, on this last row, the very last row, twice, I've managed to start sewing over to the 1/4 inch. Why? I don't know. Do you like it? Look, it's fun. Okay, let's see. It could have used 1 or 2 more rows. Maybe I'll add 1 more because I only have that off, that butterfly that's just slightly different. But like a lot of you were, not a lot of you, everybody who commented about the different fabric Like once the thing is done, you don't notice them. So I think what I might do, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna start snipping and I'm gonna think about it. I might add one more row at the top and one more row at the bottom, just to make it a little bit longer. It could use just a little bit more length. Okay, fantastic. Rag quilt done. Jelly roll race, Sunday, put your jogging shoes on and get a jelly roll because we're gonna race, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share this if you're having fun. If you're having fun. If you're not having fun, if you're not having fun, have fun. If you're having fun and you know other quilters or you have your own social media stuff, share it. Have everybody else come join us because I'm having a blast. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love ya. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Bye. See ya.